What's up, everybody? It's Lil Street 90, your newest source of DIY plumbing content. Today I'm going to show y'all how to replace a kitchen/laundry faucet, so let's get right into it. So first we need to turn off the water, and we're going to do that by rotating the handles on our angle stop shutoff valves about 90 degrees or a quarter turn. Next, we're going to place something underneath the valves that'll catch water, because even though we have the water shut off, there's still going to be water standing inside those flex supply lines. So next we're going to take our channel locks and loosen the flex supply line connection at the angle stop by rotating the compression nut counterclockwise. At a certain point, it should be loose enough that you can take it loose using your fingers. Now we're going to move up to just underneath the faucet, and we're going to take the supply lines off of these nipples. A lot of times, depending on your setup, this spot may be very difficult to work in, depending on how much room you have. So if you're struggling to take these nuts loose, a good tool that you can use would be a basin wrench, which you could get at Lowe's or Home Depot for pretty cheap, probably less than 20 bucks, but it would help you hit these hard to reach places that you just simply can't fit a pair of channel locks. Luckily, I was able to fit mine in this scenario, but it's very common where you're unable to. Next, we got to get these mounting nuts off, and one of my favorite tools is this rigid faucet tool. It makes this step effortless. It makes faucet demos and installs a breeze. Once everything underneath is disconnected, you can just take the faucet right out. And now we got to get this area clean for the new faucet install. Here I use a metal scraper on a metal surface, but I advise against that because you could accidentally scratch the sink finish, and that would be a nightmare. So I recommend using either a sponge or a plastic scraper. Now that the area is clean, it's time for the new faucet install. This customer went with a single handle Glacier Bay with a spray nozzle, and this is customer supplied, so if you'll notice, this new faucet does not actually match up with her existing sink. There is a fix for it, and I show that at the end of this video, but the best thing to do is before you take on a project like this, just make sure that your new faucet matches up with the existing holes drilled in your existing sink. You can see this faucet doesn't cover all of the holes in the sink, and I put a cover on it at the end of the video, but this could all be avoided by just getting one that fits. This is the mounting nut. It comes with a screw on each side of it, and off the bat, I take those screws all the way loose. Once installed, you actually suck down the faucet real tight by tightening those screws. Now we're down low, and it's time to secure this faucet. First, I slide on my rubber washer with my metal washer right behind it. Then, I slide on the mounting nut that I showed y'all in the clip before this. It should thread on pretty easy to the threads at the bottom of the faucet. Now, once it's all the way tight, you want to loosen it a little bit and make it to where both screws are accessible, where you can get your hand up there and actually tighten those screws down with a screwdriver. If you put them at an angle as shown right now, it's going to be very difficult, and your hand is going to be rubbing against the sink while you're trying to tighten it. Now just tighten both screws using a Phillips head screwdriver. You can get it pretty tight. Don't put an impact on it, but get it as tight as you can using a screwdriver. You should be bouncing back and forth from down low and up top, trying to keep that faucet aligned while you're tightening it. Or you could simply have somebody hold it in place while you tighten it from down low. Now we're going to install this counterweight. There's many different designs when it comes to these. This one, there's a screw on both sides of it. You just take those screws out and both pieces come apart. Then you wrap it around the hose and tighten the screws back up, and it just stays in place. Most of the time, every hose comes with a little tag that you're supposed to put the counterweight on that tag. Some counterweights come with a clip. Some counterweights come with one screw. Again, this one came with two. Now, there's a little tube sticking through the bottom of the faucet. Most faucet designs have a quick connect right here. I'm sure yours does, but it's important that you read the instruction manual because some of them come with clips that you're supposed to install. This one you literally just push on and it snaps in place and it's a solid joint, but yours may not be that way, so make sure you read the instructions. And finally, we're just going to install the hot and cold flex supply lines. Remember, cold on the right, hot on the left. That's for absolutely everything plumbing related, whether it's faucets, showers, you name it. Make sure you hold back up here whenever you're tightening down this nut, because it's a piece of 1/4-inch copper tubing with a very weak solder joint that actually connects it to the spout and the faucet, and you could accidentally twist that right off and faucet's trash at that point. You'll be starting from square one. Be careful and try not to over tighten these, because you could pinch that rubber washer on the inside and create a leak. Also, be careful and try not to under tighten these, as that seal won't compress and you'll still have a leak. Now we got the water on finally, and it's time to install the spray nozzle. It's very simple. No Teflon, no pipe dope. There's a rubber washer inside that spray hose that compresses as you tighten it all the way down. Now, this is cheap plastic. I could have broke it with just my bare hands if I tightened it enough, so you don't need to use channel locks or anything on this part. Now we get all of the trash and garbage out of the sink that we can, and it's time to run our new faucet. And honestly, this Glacier Bay faucet's not too bad. It's got 2 different settings, and it works just as good as every other faucet. I really only ever supply Delta products, but for the money, this thing's pretty nice. So if you have a hole still left in your sink like this customer did, they make these chrome-plated sinkhole covers that match stainless very well, but they make all different types of finishes, so you could get one depending on the material of your sink. And that's it. Depending on where you live, you may have just saved anywhere from $300 to $600. It really is crazy how much money you can save when you do things on your own. But like and subscribe for more, and let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see next.